Welcome to Mishia Madness and Motivation Podcast. This podcast is for anyone wanting to evolve in every aspect of their life. Do you want to be better and live life to your fullest potential? Tune in with your host, blogger, entrepreneur, and beauty executive, Mishia.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Mishia, and today I'm joined with Keisher Glymph. She is an empowerment and wellness lifestylist, and today we're going to talk about ways to empower yourself and live a more empowered lifestyle. So I did check out some of your work, and I'm really happy to have this opportunity to speak with you. Thank you for being here.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
And I saw that you said something, and I really loved it. You said something to the effect of, this isn't meant to be an inspirational moment. It's great if you take inspiration from it, but it would be greater, if you take something and apply it, because what is inspiration if you don't apply it and actually change your life? And I was like, oh, this is powerful stuff. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
So could you just tell everyone, who you are, where you're from, give them like a background of who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Keisher Glymph. I am originally from South Carolina, and I just made my way back to South Carolina actually after about 16 years in New York. So beautiful time, but yeah, I'm grateful to be able to walk outside barefoot with, in the grass. That's what I'm grateful for right now. And so yes, but I'm a oneness, empowerment, and wellness lifestylist. I'm a certified life coach and natural living advocate. All right. And so I really love working with people to support them through their body, being, and beyond transformation. And what that looks like is like the body in just really the physical body. I was a personal trainer for years. I had a fitness business. So really working with people to physically take care of themselves. So all of it is all about self-care. And then the being is all about that internal work we get to do to shift through our stuff so that we can really be our highest light and really be ourselves, right? And then the beyond is all about that risk-taking, willingness to shift beyond what you ever thought your life could be. And that means undefining what you've self-defined yourself to be, right? And so that's what I do. That's what I love to do.
Yes, awesome. And right where I saw you talk about like the inspiration, it was in your self-care series I saw on Facebook, which I thought was definitely awesome. How did you get started in the wellness community, with starting with the gym or working out and helping? Like, how did you get started and what drew you to it?
It's kind of interesting. I often say I lived about 9 lives because people go like, well, how did you get all the way from there to that? My degree is chemical engineering, right? So I was an engineer for 4 years. And I said, before I moved out to Arizona to be an engineer with Motorola, I was like, I knew before I left college, I didn't want to be an engineer from doing summer internships. But I realized that, hey, let's get the degree. I'm almost done. Let's just do that. And wherever I move to, I'm going to start studying acting. Had never done it before, but I wanted to do it. And so I did. I was an engineer by day. And then in the evenings, I'm like going to acting classes and doing all my thing.
That's
and
awesome.
Once I built up my acting resume over the course of 4 years, I was like, all right, I got to choose New York or LA. Where is it going to be? New York or LA? And I chose New York. Thank goodness it was perfect for me. And I'm so grateful for it. But your question was, how did I get to wellness? Well, that was part of the journey, right? And I can tell you more and more steps that happen in between. But the main step that led me from the acting into the wellness was that I chose a personal training job because I wanted some flexibility for acting, right? I didn't think that it was something that I loved, but I played basketball and volleyball in college. I've been into fitness, I already into fitness. So I was like, let's do something fun, right? That still will allow me to do my acting. So I had no idea it was going to be like a passion, a love, part of my calling, but it ended up being that. And in that gym, I met my first business partner, which we didn't know we would be at the time. And that was beautiful. We both wanted the same kind of things, and we started our business in Harlem. It was a business called True Control Fitness, and it was amazing. We lasted, I don't know, 7-8 years, and we started doing boot camps and, personal training and stretching and all of this stuff. Really, we had the same idea though about transformation, never about like, hey, let's get a workout in, but really about transformation. And that was the beginning of it all.
That's beautiful. It's like being in the right place at the right time. And we're always thinking, what decision do I need to make? Not realizing no matter what decision you make, you're going to end up doing, you're going to be where God wants you to be when it's, all said and done.
That's how it works. Mm-hmm.
Seriously. Since we're talking about self-care and working out is a part of self-care, just exercising, even if it's just walking and it's not anything like in the gym. What else goes into self-care, would you say, other than exercising?
Oh my gosh, that's the beauty of it. Like for me, I find that you're right. So many people just go like, okay, I need to work out and I need to eat well. Absolutely. Those are great components, but there's so much more, right? So for me, the energy that you choose to bring into a space and the energy that you allow in your space is a part of your self-care. Right. And so that means, what are your relationships looking like? Right. And so if you are in toxic relationships, it doesn't matter which ones, that could be your intimate relationship, and that could be your parent relationship, like whatever it is, that's a huge piece around your self-care. What's your fun and your play look like? Right. In that 21-day series, it was actually on Instagram, but in that 21-day series, that was one of the things I talked about, is like, are you having fun in your life? Right? Because when we could be living until we're 90 years old and spend the last, the latter part of that, or just even we could spend 50 years of that and you're already dead, like in death, like because you aren't actually living your life. And so you hear me speak a lot about living out loud, because that is such a huge piece. It's like, are you, and it kind of is double. It's more than just the play and the fun. Yes, absolutely. Some days, like I have a next door neighbor, they're raising a little boy who they're his great grandparents, right? But they're raising this little boy. He comes over here every day because it's like, there's no one to play with. So I'm fun auntie. I'll play fun auntie. Okay, what are we playing today? We playing hide and go seek. We're playing what? And so like, just to have those fun moments, take your time and have fun moments and allow yourself that. Are you traveling? Are you invested in other things other than a lot of us in this day and age, especially in America, is all about business, right? It's all about, my achievements, my goals, we're going for it. But are you allowing yourself the break, the time to say, like, to just be in peace, or are you always here, right? So stopping to take moments to take breaths, right? Deep breaths. Sitting at your desk, stretching out, like there's so many things, like just allowing yourself the moments that don't look like go, 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 right? Because our bodies weren't intended to do that. And I could go on and on. There's so many components. And nurturing your body. I'll say that's the last one. Yes. Nurturing, not the last one, but the last one I'll mention. Nurturing your body, it's not just about eating well or exercising, but nurturing. Are you, it might look like chiropractor work for you. It might look like acupuncturist. It may look like your own, like I use essential oils. That's part of my business is essential oils. It's like, are you using essential oils on yourself? Are you self-massaging, just what are you doing to nurture you, So, yeah.
And since you brought up the essential oils, what are the benefits of essential oils and how can they be used?
Yeah, essential oils, just first off, for clarity, they can be used for pretty much everything. Okay. Pretty much everything. They, a lot of times people know essential oils from aromatherapy, which is a beautiful way to use it. You put it in the diffuser, you put the water in, you turn it on, and it's diffusing cool mist into the air. It's amazing. When you use it that way, the reason why people like it is because it can shift your mood. It can shift your energy. If you're feeling low and you need some energy, it can like, woohoo, let's go, right? Because I have oils I put on, honey, and it is on for the day. Like, oh, I need a lift. And there are oils you can put on and it's like, I need to calm down, right? And so then it's great for that. But beyond that, you can use them topically as well. When you put them on your skin, they can help with either like specifically for your skin, like for healthy glowing skin, or if you have darker marks on your skin, or you're healing from a rash, burn, cut, any of that. Or if you have an achy joint, muscle pain, all of that stuff, you can put it on there. Then the last way that you can use the particular oils I use, because I can't say every oil you can use this way, but I use Doterra essential oils, which is the highest quality essential oil. And those you can actually ingest. So you can put it in your water. I have it in my water all the time. So you put it in your water it can detox your water, it can alkalize it. You can also put it like directly under the tongue or in veggie capsules and swallow it, because some recipes you're not going to want to like taste all the oils. So you can use them all sorts of ways. And sometimes when you use it internally, you want to target something. Maybe it's your digestion. Maybe you want to cleanse out, things like that. So you can use them all sorts of ways. I use them for everything. My whole collection sitting over there, and I don't do without essential oils.
That's interesting. So I just learned something new, because I didn't even know that you could ingest, certain essential oils.
Yeah.
And with the essential oils, with the Doterra, the one that you are working with, there's, I'm assuming, like a bunch of different kind. I'm sure like the lavender, eucalyptus, and et cetera. And along with that, how will people know what to use? Are you able to tell them, or is everything like on your website basically?
Yeah. So how it works is, with Doterra, it's network marketing. So that's what comes when you decide to jump in. If you do a membership and not do like just retail, I'd never advise people to do retail, because then of course you're paying more. So,
and then you're lost.
Then you're lost, right? But with the membership, it also comes with me, right? Or someone else. If you decide to go to someone else, then that you're getting a coach and you're getting that support and that guidance. There's so much education out there. I mean, there's just so much. And so we have Facebook groups. So we have different challenges and you can win prizes, and you can, there's so much education. Even the site alone, just doterra.com, has a bunch of education on there as well.
Yes, I saw the recipes and the do-it-yourself lip balms and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes. There's a bunch of stuff. So
back on self-care, exercising, eating well, doing things such as like the essential oils. And I also saw you talk about meditation. So can we just talk about meditation for a little bit, and just the different ways to meditate? Because a lot of people think it just looks like sitting down and closing your eyes and not listening to your thoughts.
Right. Right. I used to think that too. Yeah, I definitely used to think that too. You know what? Meditation is such a beautiful experience, but it took me a while to get there. Yeah. Initially I felt like that too. I felt like, oh my gosh, how do I quiet my mind? I couldn't sit still. I just want to move. I'm like thinking about everything. And so I'll just start by saying, start where you are. Just start, right? If it looks like, I can just hang in here for 60 seconds, just hang in there for 60 seconds, just start, just do it. And then the other thing, this is kind of like what I think about life. If you can already just accept that you're not going to be great at it, then stop trying to be great at it. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what's coming. You weren't great at your ABCs until you were great at your ABCs. You know what I'm saying? So just put your pinky toe in and let's go, because you got to do that before you can get to the whole foot being in there, right? And so, I started with just, with one that I got from Dr. Oz, girl. I remember he was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it was really just, it was counting to 10. And breathing 10 times. One hand on my heart, one hand on my stomach, and inhale to the highest that you can inhale, like the most you can inhale, to the peak, where you feel your stomach rise, and exhale it all out where you feel it go out. And all you're doing is focusing on the breath.
Right.
And in doing that, I would maybe breath 4, could be thinking about something else, like just bring yourself back to the breath. Right. But I had something to focus on. So that's one way that you can meditate, is just simply focus on something. And the breath is a really good way to do it. Yes. The oils actually help with something like that, because you can use an oil like peppermint, and it can be, and when you place it right underneath your nose, like put a little bit, dab on the top of your lip, and you're inhaling, then the focus is there because it's a little tingly. It's, it's opening your nostrils up, like, ooh, because it's great for respiratory stuff, right?
Oh,
but that's another one, great for focus, right? So finding a focus, that's a good one. And then when I'll say listening to guided meditations are great, because then you don't have to just sit in quiet and someone's guiding you through and they're telling you to like follow the golden light,
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, in all honesty, when I did that, initially it was challenging, because I've done it in groups with people where we were in like a meditation course kind of thing, and you're walking through and I'm doing it. And when we're done, I hear everybody else talking about, oh my God, when you said the golden light, and then I did this, and I'd be like, there was no golden light.
I didn't feel that.
I was asleep. You know what I'm saying? So then I would be asleep. And then I finally asked the leader, like, hey, is something wrong? Like, am I off? I was crying, girl, because I was like, I just want to get it.
Right.
And I could not get it. And she said, nope, there's nothing wrong at all. Your body's, what's happening is it's where it is. It's getting whatever it's ready for. Right? It's absorbing whatever it's ready for. And it is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. And so just know that even though you slept, quote unquote slept, something's happening. And when she told me that, it was so freeing, because I stopped comparing myself to anybody else, understanding that it is my own journey and it is nobody else's.
Yes.
And what it did for me was it opened up I got to see like, I started noticing the subtle differences. Right. So instead of looking for what I thought it was supposed to be, because I was
the golden light moment.
Right.
Yes.
I could just simply have my experience. And when I did that, what I noticed was when I would complete a meditation, whether it was 2 minutes or 20 minutes, I would always feel, if I fell asleep, I would always feel really heavy when I come out of it. Like I would feel like, oh gosh, this is something. So I knew
your body's
something
working.
happened.
Yes.
And then that was, that really like clued me into every time I would have any kind of spiritual work done on me, spiritual healer, any type of energetic work. Yes. That's the feeling that I get. That's what happens with my body. I can't say that's happening with everybody, but that will inform you if you pay attention to what's happening with you and not looking to compare it to what other people are having, the experience they're having. You can actually see what is your light? How do you show up? What are you getting from it? So that was my experience.
Yes, beautiful. What are some ways that we can ease stress in daily life? And the reason I want to ask is because you made a correlation to the word dis-ease and disease, which I'm like, yo, this lady is genius. That is like, it's so true. And it also, I think it's funny, just a quick aside, is like how they say the English language is like backwards, or like the tongue of the devil, some people say. Like,
like if you change one letter out, or if you put it backwards, this is what it is. Someone just mentioned live and evil.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah,
this gets creepy.
Or
stressed and desserts backwards.
Yeah. I hadn't heard that one. That's good. Yeah. Ooh, honey. Yes.
Seriously. So when people are stressed, instead of, going for the desserts, what are some ways they can just ease their mind, or just ease daily life on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. Well, I find if I just follow this simple, like, if you can take everything back to these first 3 steps, like before you even get to any kind of action, there are 3 other A's that I always like to follow. Like I call them the triple A's to action, right? So it would be like the first A would be awareness. Like to even be aware that you're even stressed, to even be aware that you're in need of something different and not follow the same things that you've been doing, just to awaken to that. Like, are you clear that that's what's happening? Right. And so to notice, and some of those noticings would be like, you might want to check your blood, check your heart rate, put 2 fingers on the wrist, like, oh, my heart's palpitating. Like, okay, like I'm in a stressed moment, or, but just, and really I'm saying that, but sometimes people like, if I'm stressed, I'm not gonna be thinking about checking my heart rate. But the thing about it is that it's the willingness to go on a journey to see anything different than what you are just doing. So to come out of the doing and actually be present enough to be aware, right? So if you're there, then you be willing to check your heart rate, right? So the awareness. And then the second step would be acceptance. I find like so often we're wishing, praying, hoping that something is different than what it is. It is that. It already is that. So stop fighting what it is. It just is that. You created it. You chose to eat all these things and now you feel heavy and bloated. You chose to do whatever. You chose to put yourself in high stress situations. Doesn't make you wrong, doesn't make you bad. It simply is. And so simply accept it and stop fighting what is, because the sooner you get to the acceptance, the sooner you get to that thing that you're really wanting to feel, which typically is happiness, joy, and love. Right. But if you don't accept it, you fighting some stuff that then why are we here? You know what I'm saying? So acceptance. So awareness, acceptance, and then allow for whatever the feelings are, allow for whatever the message is that's coming through you, right? Like sometimes we want to fight the pain. We don't even want to feel it. Like, let me hurry up and get back. It's almost like a hamster on a hamster wheel, right? That hamster wheel is going, they're just, I need to get back to the top where it felt great. Like, no, something's down here at the bottom right here that you trying to run from, that now you're going to miss because you ran from it. And now you never got to deal with it, face it, and allow the emotions to happen, right? Yeah. So those 3 steps before you even get to the action. Yes. And then when you choose that action, there are many things that you can do, some of which we've already mentioned, right? You can stop and meditate. Meditation can be, really, like I said, it can be 60 seconds. It doesn't have to be long. Yes. You can pull yourself away, set an alarm. That's a great way. Like I've found if I fall off my water, I'm like, okay, you need to quit playing. You need half your body weight in ounces of water every day. So I know that I need, no one can see us, but yes. I carry this 24-ounce stainless steel water bottle, right? I know I need 3.5 of those a day. Right. That's what I need. So then I'm like, set an alarm, water number 1, water number 2, right. So, and I set them about 4 hours apart. So I at least know I'm getting those throughout the day, in addition to maybe what I'm drinking any other time. Right. Yes. So water is really great. Or setting an alarm for stretch breaks. Like I'm going to pull myself out. We're really not supposed to be seated so long. If you drive and you take a trip, they advise you really 45 minutes. So if you're taking a long trip, like get out, stretch, and then get back on the road. And I'm actually telling myself that in this moment because I take longer trips.
I drive a lot too. And I'm like, only 45 minutes.
Right. But even if you didn't do that, but just think if you did every hour and a half and you just got out and stretched your body's like, it needs to move. That's why I always feel sorry for like cab drivers or bus drivers. I'm like, without that, I used to have a bus driver who was in my fitness program in our boot camp. And that was one of the things we would be telling him, like, yo, dude, you need to like find your moments, get up and move, like get up and stretch your body.
Yes.
Yeah. So stretching, deep breathing is huge, right?
Wow. So since we're talking about breathing, I just figured this out at my big age, and I just want to take the opportunity to share it because, okay. So with deep breathing, right, it's a difference. Like the deep breathing that I think you're talking about is where you fill your belly up with air and not your chest, So before I was breathing and I was, but it's such a difference.
It is breathing from your diaphragm versus breathing from your chest. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely different. Yeah. And If people think of it like it's just breath, we're breathing all the time. I don't think I'm going to challenge every listener today to catch moments that you stop breathing. Sometimes we're stop breathing if we're waiting to talk when someone else is talking to us. And instead of us actually listening to them and being present with them, we're waiting to talk. You ever have those kind of listeners listening to you, right? Like, I just can't wait to say what I got to say. They don't even know what you're talking about, girl. They just can't wait to say their piece. But when they, in that moment, have they stopped breathing? Like, okay, now, right. I've paused and now I'm stopped breathing. Or anxious. Sometimes we're so anxious or nervous or whatever, we're not breathing or not breathing fully, And so really taking that, it changes your whole system, every system in your body. It changes your blood flow. It changes your heart rate. It changes, when you deep breathe, your heart rate goes down. It's like,
yes. It helps with your nervous system, which helps with anxiety.
Every system in your body, girl.
Yes.
Every system. And so taking time to do that will also support you when you are in meditation or when you're in that long line at the post office. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it allows you to be in practice in your life that, where now your kid is doing something and you're not going off because
you're deep breathing.
You are in your own, because you're in your own stuff.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So the last question I want to ask you is, how are you living out loud in your life today? In modern time.
Yeah. I love it. So one of the main things I look to do to live out loud is to continue to kind of stretch myself beyond what I've thought myself to be. Mm-hmm. Right. So if I feel this is something I started saying some years ago, and I still look to practice it, which is, if I feel resistance, lean in. If I feel resistance, lean in, because that resistance is what's telling me to there's something there for me. Right. It might be, if I'm feeling nervous, that's usually a good sign, because then there's something there. If I'm feeling nervous and excited, because those are a great combination. Right. If I'm nervous, then it's something big enough for me to go after. If I'm excited, then it's it's in my joy lane. It's something that I want to do. Right. And so, so when I feel resistance, lean in. So for instance, I could say the most recent thing is, I just started this school that I'm doing, and I'm just oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to include this in? And it was oh, okay, you feeling that resistance. Okay, well then step on in, girl. Step on in, right? Or something I'm really excited about doing now that we've been in such quiet pullback, right, is leaping back out into my travels and doing all of that. Yes. So that's going to be fun, because in 2019, that's what led me to leave New York. Is I went on this 1-year venture and it was about living out loud and shaking up my life. And it included traveling to all these different countries and also being present in my life, whatever that was. So it was I'm on the cliff dive. I'm looking to do just doing a bunch of different things and tapping back into my hobbies, my loves, the things that I had just let go, and to really live out fully. So
beautiful. So wait, you like to jump off of cliffs?
Yeah, honey. Yeah, I've jumped out of 2 planes, and 2 cliff dives, but I want to do more. And the thing about it is so adventure was one of those pillars. When I left in 2019, it was based off of 7 different pillars, right? One of them was adventure. One was exploration. One was self-care. It was so many different things, right, that I was up to. But that one about adventure, that's what I love. I like the scariest roller coaster. I want to challenge the thing. And yeah, so I say within a year, and I'm just putting this out there because I can feel the resistance. I'm oh Lord, I'm saying this. Oh Lord. Okay. So, which is, I've had on my list of things to do for quite some time.
Yes. So within a year,
put on one of those air suits and fly through the air. Where you put on I don't even know what it's called. I'm
Like-
sure I knew at one point, but it's like a full air suit where it's like wings and it's really just you flying through the air.
And they have what I'm picturing is how when people jump out of the airplanes, but in the building.
Oh, no,
Okay.
because that's like in a contained space.
Okay, so
right?
are you gonna be like outside?
Yeah, people go to like really high mountains and they have the suit on, and it's like it's just them. There's no device. It's not like a pulley, like a where do you go?
You're just a free agent in the
bungee
air.
jump, right? You don't have anything attached to you that's going to save you if the wind takes you somewhere else.
That sounds so fun.
A suit you put on. Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that.
Where did you go to do that? Where are you going to do that?
I don't actually know yet. I've watched YouTube videos. I know it's out there. I'll send you a link later and then you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so my plan was like, okay, let me link up with these people who've been doing it for a long time. So I can get some like, what do I do? Train? What do I have to do? I need to get in with the people who are doing this sort of thing, and I used to tell my father, like, I get all this adventure stuff from you, like my stepping outside of the comfort zone stuff. And he was like, really? No. And I was like, yeah, you always did whatever. Like he created it, and it was on a different scale. He would always do these different things. And he was like, yeah, but I'm not jumping out of a plane. I'm not doing all that stuff. And I don't know. So I guess I took it to the next level, but yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm excited for you to go and get out and travel more. I'm done with this pandemic. I'm ready for everything to be open.
Yes, because I heard you on one of the shows that you mentioned I think the one you were talking to Toffee, which was really great. And we're talking about mental well-being, and I just thought it was really beautiful the way both of you spoke so vulnerably about where you are in the present moment. And you're just like, I don't know, I'm doing right? Like you're there, you're getting there, but that's the piece, is like this whole like keeping us locked in, and we have to find a space to be outside of that. And not to have whatever's happening in the world define whatever's happening within you.
Yes.
And that is where those practices come into hand, and that come into play. So I just feel like if we that's why I always say like that pinky toe comes before the foot, because if you think that you're going to be great at it, you're just not. It just like, you're just not, if someone wants to lose weight and they're like 20 pounds overweight, well, you didn't gain that 20 pounds overnight. So then you give yourself the grace along your journey.
Yes.
And that's it. That's all you can do, but just actually be willing to go on the journey.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for being here and sharing and just being open.
Yeah, thank you. It's been such a joy. I love your energy. It's great.
Thank you so much.